Alright, so I started using that flat 5. So I have the 5 and the flat 7, and then I'm going to vibrato the two notes together. And you can see I'm keeping the index and middle finger firm. I have some space between the palm and the back of the neck. And then I'm really moving the whole guitar to create that vibrato. So what's happening is, not only am I using this blues scale, I'm trying to create a memorable, strong sounding melody, even though it's an improvisation. So that very first thing becomes a theme. And again, like the rhythm part, using those open strings and letting them ring to create sonority and just a full sound. Then straight down the scale in bar 2. Bar 3. Bar 4. Again, just trying to be melodic. And utilizing different techniques to keep that improvisation sounding interesting and engaging. So I went from that, using the 3 notes. This comes off of an E7, E dominant voicing, coming off of a fretted G sharp, and then I get into picking the notes individually and allowing them to ring. And then move over to the simultaneous high E and G string. When in bar 5 you get to the 4 chord. So again, keeping that sound happening, that same approach of having pairs of notes picked simultaneously and then alternating. And even though it's subtle, I have a theme. I've established a theme with my melodic approach. Which is much better sounding than just playing like a bunch of licks. I can create tension and resolution and melodic development, which is one of the most important things in a solo and can be a difficult thing to achieve when a solo is improvised. So, you know, we have a combination of well-established sounds and shapes with an improvised approach, meaning I'm not deciding beforehand the order in which I'm going to play these patterns. So over the A, bar 6, I went to, so and doing those bends on the high E string this low on the neck, you really have to put some strength into it. I use my middle finger. And then just progress down the scale. And I went back in 7 and 8 to. So. So bar 9 there on the 5 chord. I clearly delineate the move to the 5 chord by playing the same walk-up lick. But then I move right away to a melodic idea. And this is really neat in this position, which is over B. And I'm really moving into B minor pentatonic. But most of the notes come from E minor pentatonic. The only change is instead of using G, I'm using F sharp. That's the fifth of B. Which is really neat. And there's a lot to be discovered there melodically using this shape in the open strings. And then when we get to A, and then back to, and I did a little at the very end there, ending the whole phrase on a root note. That's vibrato. So throughout this one chorus solo, what I'm trying to do is create variety as the solo progresses, but also have it so that the solo has melodic integrity and strength and tells a story, and then the story develops as you go on. And the way to do that is not just to play licks, licks, licks all the time, because then you're not building on anything. You have nothing to build on, and you're not creating a little journey through the musical passage. So I started out by setting up a little melody over the one chord, another little melody on the four chord, and then I play something, I go away from that, and then come back. So throughout the whole thing, I'm sort of setting something up that's strong melodically, and then you can go away from it, come back to it. And mixed in there, you know, what's making that happen is the articulation that is used is chosen for the sound, whether I'm going to finger pick or I'm going to use pull-offs and slides in a more legato sound. It all has to go together. So use your ear and don't be afraid to experiment. But at the same time, I also paid close attention to each chord in the progression, made sure everything I played created a strong connection to those chords. This is another way to create solos that sound interesting, tell a story, and take you on a little musical journey.